have you ever pictured a goat? You know, maybe a tiny, gentle lamb, or perhaps one of those really majestic mountain goats standing firm on a cliff.
Oh yeah, those images are powerful. We see them a lot, especially in things like Chinese astrology.
Exactly. But have you ever stopped to think, like, what's the deeper meaning behind that symbol?
It's truly fascinating how these seemingly simple images can unlock such a rich tapestry of personality traits, destiny, even what the future might hold for you.
Absolutely. So today we're doing a deep dive into the Chinese Zodiac goat. Some people call it the ram or the sheep. Our goal here is really to cut through all the noise and uncover the most important stuff about this really, truly fascinating sign, this deep dive. It's basically custom tailored for you.
Yeah, like a shortcut. So you can get well informed about the goat, its traits, its journey, and importantly, what's looking like it's ahead in 2025.
Right. And we've gathered a whole stack of insights to do this, pulled from Chinese astrology experts, cultural analyses, even predictions for next year.
So we should have a pretty comprehensive but hopefully engaging overview for you.
Okay, let's unpack this. When we hear goat in Chinese astrology, it's definitely not just, a barnyard animal.
No, not at all. It's the 8th sign in that whole 12-year cycle. It comes after the horse, right before the monkey.
Got it.
And what's really striking, I think, is its deep link to Wei. That's one of the earthly branches. And it's ruled by the earth element itself.
Oh, okay. Earth element.
Yeah, so it symbolizes things like harmony, stability, kind of a pastoral magnificence, if you will.
Right.
And get this, the actual character for goat, Yang, as part of the Chinese word for compassion, Shan.
No way. That really highlights the gentle nature, doesn't it?
It totally does. So, like, at their core, goats are often seen as creative, peaceful, definitely compassionate, nurturing, gentle, kind-hearted, amiable. Just really possessing this delicate and deeply compassionate spirit.
And that gentleness, it sounds like it's not just about being kind, but it gives them a real artistic side too, right?
Oh, absolutely. They have this natural appreciation for beauty. You often find them excelling in things like literature, music, art. They just have brilliant taste, honestly.
Nice.
And beyond that artistic flair, they're incredibly relationship-oriented.
Yeah.
Super friendly, forgiving, patient. They're fantastic listeners, always ready to offer support.
So they really value those connections.
Deeply. They care so much about loved ones, always trying to build these nurturing, harmonious environments. And in friendships, they're trustworthy, dedicated. They form these really profound emotional bonds.
Okay, but here's the twist you mentioned.
Exactly. While they might look all gentle and calm on the outside, they've got this strong inner resilience, protective instincts too.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, they can really preserve themselves through hardships. And they're often quite motivated, actually, to see tasks through successfully.
That mix of gentle artistry and quiet strength, that's fascinating. But every sign has its complexities. Where might a goat find things a bit challenging?
Well, that inner sensitivity, while it's a strength, can unfortunately make them a bit prone to stress-related issues.
Ah, okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, they might lean towards being overly pessimistic sometimes, or feel anxious, unduly worried about the future, or even like the smallest details. And that can sometimes impact their health.
And the introverted side.
Right. Often shy, reserved, sometimes reluctant to be the one to start a conversation. They tend to like being in groups, but they don't really crave the spotlight, And that thoughtful nature, it can sometimes tip over into indecisiveness, wavering thoughts. And even though they're tolerant, they can have a stubborn streak.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which can make conversations tricky sometimes, maybe make them a bit less agile when adapting.
So that deep emotional world, it's rich, but maybe hard to express sometimes?
Precisely. They can struggle to really articulate what they're feeling, which can sometimes lead to misunderstandings or maybe a feeling of distance, especially in close relationships.
Got it.
But on a lighter note, culturally, you often see this image of the goat of great fortune in old Chinese engravings. It's a symbol of good luck, a really wonderful omen. There's even a phrase, good luck is followed by fortune, tied right into their symbolism.
So it's clear a goat isn't just a goat, it's more like you said, a diamond with different facets depending on the 5 elements. This adds real layers, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. Which element is tied to their birth year really shapes how their core goat traits express themselves. It's fascinating how, say, metal or fire infuses unique qualities.
Okay, let's break that down. First up, the metal goat. years like 1931, 1991. What defines them?
The metal goats.
Yeah.
These are kind of the disciplined perfectionists of the goat family. Super hardworking, incredibly driven to hit their goals.
Still gentle, though.
They appear gentle, yeah, but inside, they're tough, courageous, have real vision, and they stand by their principles. Often, they've got ambitions for entrepreneurship. Very loyal, empathetic, too.
And talented.
Often, yes. Especially in arts and music. They really value order and stick to strong moral codes.
Okay, next, water goat, like 1943, 2003.
Water goats are highly sensitive, really intuitive, deeply sympathetic. They just have this profound emotional understanding.
So natural caregivers.
Totally. Creative, nurturing. They make excellent counselors. They're kind, responsible, usually quite popular, well-loved by friends and colleagues. They really prefer stability, though, and hate sudden changes. Often leads to a quieter life, secure income.
Makes sense. How about the wood goat, 1955, 2015?
Wood goats are known for being flexible, innovative. They're natural problem solvers. Very social, adaptable, polite, friendly, always willing to help out.
Leaders, maybe?
Can be, yeah. Energetic leaders combining courage with this kind of humble, commanding manner. But the flip side, sometimes indecisive, maybe a bit impulsive. They need to balance that stability desire with a hunger for variety. Also very detail-oriented and super resilient.
All right, fire goats, born in 1907 and 1967. They sound like they have a bit of a spark.
Oh, they definitely do. Vibrant, ambitious, passionate, driven by a really strong urge to succeed. These are often charismatic leaders, thriving in roles like sales or management.
Loyal friends, too.
Very. Honest, warm, exceptionally loyal. They like things orderly, and they're assertive, dedicated in their work. The main thing for them is just watch out for burnout. They can push themselves really hard.
Good advice. And lastly, the earth goat, 1919, 1979.
Earth goats are practical, reliable, incredibly grounded, structured, responsible people, often quite frank, impartial, truthful friends. Interestingly, they often receive unexpected help and can find real career success.
Driven by consistency.
Yes, consistency and trustworthiness are key for them. But, like the wood goat, they sometimes need to find that balance between their need for stability and a sort of natural urge for change now and then. It's a truly remarkable spectrum within just one sign.
Okay, so with all these nuances, what does this actually mean for a goat's day-to-day life? You know, their job, love life, health. How do these core traits play out?
Well, when you connect it all, those core traits really do shape these big life areas. Career-wise, for instance, goats just thrive in roles where their compassion and creativity can shine.
Like writers, artists.
Exactly. Writers, musicians, artists, designers. Also fantastic in counseling, social work, therapy, nursing, caregiving, teaching. Anywhere that caring nature is valued. They're committed to their jobs, detail-oriented, and do well with structured tasks.
But I guess that gentle nature means some careers are probably less ideal.
That's right. Our sources generally advise them to steer clear of really high-pressure, super competitive fields. Think investment banking, maybe fast-paced media. The anxious environment can just be too much for their sensitive nature.
Okay, and financially?
Typically, they don't have a huge, enterprising spirit for just accumulating wealth. They prefer security, stability over big financial risks. But here's the catch. They do tend to save, but they also have a real fondness for luxury goods, which can sometimes lead to tight budgets.
I see.
So the advice is usually take calculated risks, manage money carefully, focus on long-term investments rather than hoping for a windfall.
Makes sense. And love.
Yeah.
Given that romantic, sensitive heart, what's their love life like?
Oh, they are romantics at heart. Loving, dedicated partners, really seeking deep emotional intimacy. They're caring, considerate, generous, often known for spoiling their partners with gifts.
But the challenges, that shyness maybe.
Yeah, that shyness can definitely make open communication tricky sometimes.
Yeah.
And the sensitivity, it can lead to misunderstandings or a bit of emotional unrest if they're not careful. They really value stability, seeking security and comfort in relationships.
Any difference between goat men and women?
Generally, goat men are seen as loyal, responsible, respectful. Goat women are often charming, kind, and loyal, but can be quite sensitive to criticism. And in friendship, they're top tier, trustworthy, dedicated, empathetic, often putting others first, really warm and open once you form that deep bond.
What about health? Does that sensitivity affect their physical well-being too?
Generally, their physical health is pretty sound. But yes, that sensitivity can cause stress-related disorders if it's not managed well. They're also a bit susceptible to colds when the weather changes.
So, practical advice.
Dress warmly, maybe avoid super cold or frozen foods in summer. pay attention to heart health, especially avoiding intense activities after middle age. But honestly, their mindset is huge for their health.
How so?
That detail-oriented nature can lead to constant worry, being kind of high-strung. So finding healthy ways to cope with stress is just essential for their mental peace and overall well-being.
Okay, thinking about all these traits, it really makes you wonder, how do these gentle goats handle interacting with all the other zodiac animals? Who are their best buds and who might, bring a little drama?
Yeah, it's interesting. What's fascinating is that while some relationships are just like naturally easy and harmonious, others offer real opportunities for growth, but only if both people are willing to work at it.
So who are the easy ones? The most harmonious?
Top of the list is usually the rabbit. Yeah. They tend to form this really profound emotional bond built on shared values, lots of mutual support. Both are sensitive, imaginative, they enjoy artistic stuff together, offer lots of heartwarming praise.
Ah, that sounds lovely. Who else gets along well with the goat?
The pig is another great match, often considered one of the happiest couples. It's built on deep mutual support and devotion. The goat really appreciates the pig's knack for luck with money, apparently.
Practical.
Right. And the pig just adores the goat's tasteful, nurturing home. Both are quite sentimental, finding real contentment together. And surprisingly, maybe the horse.
Really? The horse?
Yeah, they actually suit each other well. The goat benefits from the horse's hard work, and the horse really enjoys the goat's compliments. They balance each other out. Goat helps horse express feelings. Horse gives practical advice.
And what about goat with another goat?
Oh, often palpable chemistry there. Instant attraction. They're affectionate, supportive. The only caution is they need to avoid enabling each other's less helpful habits or maybe being reluctant to give necessary tough love.
Got it. Okay, what about the pairings that need a bit more effort? The challenging ones?
Well, the ox, for instance, that tends to be a challenging romance. Needs a lot of patience. The goat's sensitivity can really clash with the ox down-to-earth pragmatism.
Yeah, I can see that.
And the imaginative goat might just get tired of the ox's very practical methods. For that to grow, they need to accept that one rules more with emotion, the other with intellect.
And the tiger?
It can be an uncomfortable union. There might be initial attraction, sex appeal, imagination, but difficulties often pop up because the goat can be timid and the tiger can be quite self-involved. They often do better as friends, actually, where they could boost each other's confidence in different ways.
Now, the sources seemed a bit mixed on the dragon and goat pairing. What's the deal there?
You're right, the sources do conflict. Some say challenging, others say potentially extremely well-suited. The goat can feel safe with a dominant dragon, and the dragon often likes the goat's adoration.
Odd.
But their different approaches to life might lead to power struggles. The good news is, both are sentimental and value long-term romance, so the potential is there. It just takes conscious effort and understanding.
Okay. Dog?
Rooster.
Dog isn't a natural fit, but since both are sensitive, they can make accommodations. The goat gets the dog's quest for justice, the dog gets the goat's need for creative expression. Fidelity from the goat is pretty key there, though. With the rooster, it can be fulfilling if they sort out their roles clearly. Like, goat handles domestic stuff, rooster handles public life. Goat can smooth the rooster's feathers, rooster can help the goat financially. The challenges. Rooster's criticism is hitting the goat's sensitivities, or the goat's vagueness annoying the rooster.
Right, and those relationships kind of in the middle, the nuanced ones. Yeah, like the rat. They can find love despite different needs. Goat's a homebody, rat's sociable. They can be good friends and apparently good intimately too.
Okay, snake, monkey.
The snake can find romantic happiness, but watch out for financial instability they might both like spending. Both are sentimental though, and appreciate each other's talents. The monkey pairing can succeed, but it takes effort. The goat's anxiety might clash with the monkey's more freewheeling style, intellect versus deep emotion, but they can actually be quite sociable together.
Wow. It's quite something to see how these core goat traits and all the elemental variations have actually played out in history. It really drives home the diversity within the goat sign.
It really does. These historical figures perfectly embody the contrasts within the goat. Let's start with maybe Cao Cao, born way back in 155 CE.
The warlord.
Yeah, warlord, military genius, Three Kingdoms era, popular with his troops but also power-hungry, famously vindictive, known for massacring civilians, even imprisoning the legendary Dr. Huatuo just out of suspicion. He had that famous motto, something like, "I'd rather wrong others than let them wrong me." But he was also a remarkable statesman and a fine poet. We still have that idiom, speaking of Cao Cao, and there he is, like our speaking of the devil, a very complex goat.
Definitely shows that strategic mind, but also a potential darker side. What about someone who really embodied that loyalty and selflessness aspect?
Wow, that would absolutely be Yue. Courageous, loyal general, Song Dynasty. He put his country first legend, says his mother actually tattooed, served the country with utmost loyalty on his back.
Wow.
Embodied Confucian principles, but tragically was executed on trumped-up charges by a jealous chancellor. Today, revered national hero, his betrayer, publicly shamed, a powerful example of goat dedication.
Amazing story. And who brought about a golden age?
There was Emperor Tang Taizong, Tang Dynasty. His reign was considered a golden age, prosperity, peace. China became really cosmopolitan. He was known for being magnanimous, pardoning enemies, even giving them jobs in his court.
Generous spirit.
Very. He's the one who sent the monk Xuanzang on that famous journey for Buddhist scriptures. Shows a real openness and vision.
And finally, an empress known for her control.
Empress Dowager Cixi, 19th century Qing dynasty. Powerful, controlling figure, held regency for like 47 years, often suspicious of outsiders, kept an iron grip on politics. Yet, people who actually met her often praised her grace, charm, and kindness.
So complex.
Exactly. These figures really prove, not all sheep are cut from the same wool. Shows the incredible range within the goat sign.
So whether you're, a historical figure or just living your life today, what's the practical advice? What can someone born under the goat sign take away from all this? Especially looking ahead to 2025.
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, right? How can goats best use their strengths and manage their challenges, especially next year? Now, 2025 is noted for having several, let's call them, negative stars.
Oh.
Things like Great Shah, which can bring obstacles, flying chase, often linked to unexpected disruptions. But honestly, these are really best viewed as opportunities for self-improvement.
Okay, so a chance to grow.
Exactly. It's shaping up to be a year to really focus intentionally on your communication patterns, work on self-mastery, and consciously reconnect with your inner self.
And what about that bright hole star the sources mentioned?
Yeah, the bright hole star basically means attention is going to be on you. So this is the spotlight you can actually use, strategically leverage it for personal growth, financial goals, career advancement.
Nice. How to manage the potential challenges, though?
Good question. Sources suggest goats should probably have a budget ready for unexpected issues, and setting firm boundaries is key, especially to avoid kind of inheriting other people's problems.
Makes sense. Communication, too.
Crucial. Being really mindful, conscious of your words, your tone. That's vital to avoid tension or distance creeping into relationships.
It sounds like 2025 might also be a good time for letting go.
It really is shaping up that way. 2025 seems to present opportunities to consciously sever ties with relationships or situations that just aren't serving your highest good anymore. That allows for real progress.
And managing that goat tendency towards worry.
Right. There's a star called Moonsha, which often points to more introspection or emotional vulnerability. This makes something like a daily or weekly reflection journal super effective.
Like an outlet.
Exactly. An outlet for frustration, worry. It helps avoid kind of poisoning your environment with that stuff and leads to less people-pleasing too.
What about goats in public roles versus those working more behind the scenes? Any difference in advice?
Yeah, a bit. For goats in the public eye, be extra mindful of online negativity, people trying to bait you. If your work is more behind the scenes, 2025 is perfect for consolidating, laying groundwork for 2026, consciously avoiding arguments, and really respecting boundaries.
And for partnered goats?
Use the year to reflect deeply together. Realign your relationship goals. Really learn to communicate better. Get to the root cause of any dissatisfaction. It's a relationship tune-up year.
Any wisdom on investments for 2025?
An investment journal is a great idea. Not just what you bought, but why. Note the reasons behind your decisions. This helps you understand your own energy and intuition around investing, rather than just, copying others.
Good tip. And always okay to ask for help, right?
Absolutely. Never hesitate to reach out to trusted loved ones, friends, or mental health professionals if you're struggling with stress, anxiety, or emotional challenges. Support is key.
Are there specific zodiac signs that might be particularly helpful or supportive for the goat in 2025?
Yes. The sources suggest actively hanging out with a horse. They carry the sun star, which brings positive energy. The rabbit can offer courage and help with self-reflection. The pig brings inspiration, helps you see how to flip challenging situations.
Even the ox. I thought they clashed.
Surprisingly, yes. Even the ox, which is usually considered a clash animal, can actually provide a kind of root awakening. help you see things clearly, strategize effectively. Sometimes a little friction gets you moving,
Yeah.
And remember, all this intense self-growth work you might do in 2025, it's really setting you up for what looks like a major glow-up in 2026 when the positive stars are expected to be firmly on your side.
So, wrapping this all up, when you consider everything about the note, that compassionate core, the historical impact, this call for self-mastery in 2025, how might embracing your true goat nature actually lead to deeper harmony and fulfillment?
Yeah, I think this whole deep dive really highlights something crucial. Your birth year, your goat sign, it's just one piece of your unique cosmic puzzle, right? There's always more to learn, more to integrate from your full chart.
Definitely.
So maybe the takeaway is to consider, what unique strengths can you draw from the goat's gentle yet surprisingly resilient spirit? And how might you apply these lessons, especially around communication and self-reflection, to your own journey, particularly in the year ahead?